Mamdani won the top job in the Big Apple after a mayoral race that polarized the city and more specifically the Jewish community. So where exactly do we go from here? Joining us now by Zoom is New York City Rabbi Elliott Cosgrove of Manhattan's Park Avenue Synagogue. Hello, and thank you so much for being here.
Emily, thank you for having me.
So sorry it needs to be under these circumstances. We like to do interviews when there's, positive things to talk about. But I can imagine the experience is still a bit surreal, even though it seemed to be that Mamdani was the favorite. But now that it is official, how are you and others in your community feeling?
Look, surreal is the right word. We're all trying to make sense of this moment. The Jewish community doesn't speak just with one voice, but the moment in time is a moment of deep concern of the New York Jewish community. As I stated repeatedly prior to the election, Mamdani has come out with rhetoric and suggested policies that put open expressions of Zionism, Jewish pride, the Celebrate Israel parade, the relationship between the Technion and Cornell on Roosevelt Island. All of these are in operationalized forms, diminishment and threat to open Jewish expressions in New York City, and democracy has spoken. The voters have turned out, and the election didn't go the way I was hoping, the way much of the Jewish electorate were hoping. And now the question is, what do we do? Where do we go? And everyone's positioning themselves. Are we going to be sort of His Majesty's loyal opposition? We obviously want to work closely with the administration on issues of common concern, but we also need to call out where we feel that our own interests are at threat. I'm reminded of Jeremiah's prayer for the exiles, Dirshuat Shlom Ha'ir. We pray for the good of the city, whatever city that might be in.
Wow, that's really profound to bring up. And, from that standpoint, I mean, there's also division within the 1.5 million Jewish New Yorkers that I know that you talked about in a sermon that really went viral. I mean, there seems to be just a lot of fear about that, about some of the progressive types of, folks that are pro-Mamdani. What does that tell us about the longevity of the Jewish people in the city?
Yeah, well, based on the polls that I've seen, the exit polls, approximately 30% of the New York Jewish community voted for Mamdani. So I think that's a real number. That's a number that's probably growing. And that suggests that Mamdani's anti-Zionist rhetoric and suggested policies in the eyes of many New York Jews did not disqualify him from their vote. And I think that is a moment of, I think that is the thing beneath the thing as a rabbi when it comes to the vote. The vote is one vote. A mayor will come, a mayor will go. But my concern as a rabbi is, what does this say about the fault lines within the Jewish community? And that's where I think whether you're on the 70% or whether you're on the 30%, there really needs to be seen an opportunity to learn, to listen to each other, to build a dialogue across the various sectors of the Jewish community. I know where I stand, but I'm also self-aware enough to know that my views are not shared by the Jewish collective of New York or the Jewish people as a whole, and we have to work on dialogue.
Wow. Well, continued efforts, I'm sure, will be made, on your behalf and others to try, like you said, to have dialogue and come to some kind of, mutual acceptance and understanding of, the various shades of Judaism. Rabbi Cosgrove, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Emily.